agenda. I'd like to thank Ms. Harrison for calling me out, right? I mean, you're right, though, right? And in 10 years, I've always worn the Budget Committee hat, right? In 10 years, it's always been, all right, what's in the best interest of the taxpayer? Can we absorb it? What's the financial impact? What's the hit, right? And that's always been my mindset. And I and the board expressed the continued frustration of carrying a deficit yet again for a third year, but that's the reality, right? So I'm reflecting back, and I've been reflecting back and playing back what you said in my mind, and you're right. And I need to be more of an advocate for the students, for our district employees, right, for the buildings that still need continued maintenance and upgrade. I am deeply concerned about a difference in operating budget to default budget of 770,000 at the moment, right? 762,000 at the moment, and really what that means in being impactful to the kids who will need that. So with that, I am going to make a motion to revote Article 1.
I second that. Any further discussion?
I appreciate the reconsideration.
Thank you for reconsidering. I think it does send a message to particularly staff, admin and staff, but also the kids.
It's all
And
about the
parents.
kids.
I mean, it's, well,
Students.
we'll continue.
I do appreciate that it's a big change of hat. And thank you for reconsidering.
Yeah, thank you.
All those in favor of Article 1?
Well, so,
Okay.
this is,
Reconsidering, okay.
yeah, to vote, and then I'll make another
Would someone like to
motion.
make a motion?
Well, we need to vote on this first.
Okay.
So all
All
those
those
in,
in favor, thank you, of
Reconsidering.
reconsidering Article 1.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained. Thank you, Andrew.
Madam Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to approve Article 1 as written.
I'll second.
Or recommend.
Recommend.
Recommend. Further discussion?
Okay, I'm gonna throw it out there. There is such a large difference. You guys wanna consider, the previous motion to, for the music teacher? To bring it a little bit closer. It's obviously, it's a drop in the bucket, but that is what the school.
That was $90,000
That-
and change?
The admin, that's what was recommended from the school.
We would need a different motion.
Well, it would be an
in order to
amended
do that.
motion, correct? Or do you need a separate?
You have a motion to recommend, and now I think you can take a motion to amend the number.
Well, we have a motion to recommend the article now, but you can, right, you can
But you could
amend it.
amend it. So I don't know how, do we know how
We
much
already have
it
a
is?
first and a second.
What
We
would
have a
that
first
be?
and a
We have a
second,
first and a second.
but she can recommend
She
it.
can
Okay.
make
Yeah.
a motion to amend.
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
So I don't know where people are gonna land, but I'm just gonna try it to get us a little bit closer with the hopes that we're gonna be able to, that the community will listen and, understand. Can you give me the new total, Doug?
Yeah.
Sorry to put you on the
No,
spot.
it's about 30 seconds probably, a little more.
Can we have some discussion while we're letting Doug
Well,
pull that
once
up?
we
We-
vote it, then it's discussion, right?
We can discuss the amendment.
Yeah. Once there's a first and a second, then we can
Right,
discuss it.
Okay.
You kind of need the dollar amount.
Yeah.
Laura, you
Yeah.
got this.
I got it.
Yeah.
Be precise with it, so.
So the dollar amount that we used was $94,878 for the music teacher.
4,878.
Are we gonna go with your 762?
Do I need,
Well, hold on.
Okay,
I don't know if we need the new total,
yeah.
or if I can just say to subtract
You can say
a
subtract,
certain amount.
right?
So
And
I
then,
make a
then we'll
motion to
vote on a new
revise the
total.
operating budget, to reduce it by $94,787. say that wrong? $94,878.
Correct.
Does that
So
also,
if I can pause for a second, just
Yeah.
so everyone's clear on what they're gonna vote for. Since you are the governing body, if you reduce it from the operating budget, it also gets reduced from the default budget. So the gap would be the same.
That's right.
I see what you mean. Oh, okay, got it.
So there's no, there's no.
doesn't help the
there's-
gap.
It's no
Right, it
material.
doesn't
Yeah,
help.
it doesn't help the gap.
And it doesn't help if we have to fall, the work we would have to do, right? So
That's right.
it actually,
Okay, I will withdraw my non-full motion then.
I appreciate the sentiment of it, which is to try to bring the gap closer
Yeah,
together.
Right.
thank you for that perspective.
My
Okay.
response was still
Yeah.
gonna be no, because I do feel like at this point, it should go to deliberative, and if people, let the people in town decide if they wanna remove that position or not from the operating, but that's my thought process. But thank you for trying.
All right.
and Doug, just to clarify, if it's removed at deliberative, it's the legislative body doing that, which doesn't impact the fall. So that would, the legislative body could narrow that gap.
Yep, so at deliberative, the default budget cannot be touched. Nothing changes of the default budget.
So there can't even be a motion on the floor to increase the default budget. The default is set by the governing body,
Yep.
and that's been
Okay.
done following all the rules.
Yep,
Just
so
to be
we-
clear, they
Okay.
can't change that
Okay.
number. The only thing they can do is they can reduce it there and get it closer to the gap, close the gap.
interesting.
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
All
so
right.
where did
There's a
that leave
motion
us?
and a second
So,
For Article 1.
to recommend Article
Article
1.
I have no more
Further
discussion.
discussion, all set? All those in favor of Article 1?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained.
So I'm changing the recorded vote to 500, and I have left highlighted on there when you look at the document, the budget committee's vote,
They
because
still-
that was not on these numbers, so that's,
They need to revote,
they,
right?
Oh, okay.
yeah, and they'll do that when they have a chance.
Okay.
Can I talk for a second about Article 2, or you good to go
Yes.
on that?
Sure.
So I found Gordon's sentence, and so what he is suggesting, this is again at the pleasure of the board, but at the very end, the following sentence be included. If the closing does not occur, the appropriation will lapse and all funds raised will be returned to the taxpayers. He said that if you're looking for that level of transparency, so that somebody voting on this knows exactly what's gonna happen, and doesn't have to look at the voter guide or attend a meeting, it can become part of the article by including that sentence. You approved it 500 without that sentence, but that's the language that Gordon said he could consider.
Could you read it one more time, please?
The sentence, yeah.
Yeah, so the first part is the question, do you want to raise the money to buy the land and
Pending.
include it as the Robin Riley Memorial School, Robin Riley Elementary School? This warrant article will be a special non-lapsing appropriation per the RSA and will not lapse until the closing on the property takes place once the construction of a new school is funded and approved by voters, or by June 30th, 2029, whichever is sooner. That's what it said. If the closing does not occur, the appropriation will lapse and all funds raised will be returned to the taxpayers.
Madam Chairman, I'll make a motion to reconsider Article 2.
Second.
Oh, sorry.
Jinx.
Second.
Madam Chairman, I'll make a motion to recommend Article 2 with the extra sentence as prepared by council.
I second that.
Just to be clear, it's the same result either way.
It
Either
is.
way, the
Right,
money
it
goes
just-
back to the taxpayer,
Right.
but it is
It's more
specifically
clarity.
saying that for the purpose of taxpayers having that transparency and
Just
knowing
that
it.
clarity, and I think, I look at it that,
It was great for the budget committee to recommend that, too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
yeah, they're at 630, and maybe that clarity changes a vote for them. I don't know exactly why people voted the way they did, but, that level of clarity just, it's right in there. And,
Yeah.
we talk about trust, and here it is. Somebody doesn't have to go find an old voter guide in 2029 to figure out what the intent is. It's in the warrant.
Okay, I have a first and a second. Further discussion? All those in favor of adding that sentence to Article 2, please say aye.
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 Opposed, abstained, 5-0-0.
So I'm recording a vote that you're recommending it with that sentence.
Correct.
Okay, perfect. The other two housekeeping things are that Article 3 and Article 4. Both Doug and I had a conversation with Gordon again, because there's a case that has been made by some in town and in other towns that when you are using fund balance to put it into a reserve fund, and then when you say there is no estimated tax impact, that's not really true, because if you're not returning the money back to taxpayers, you're not having taxpayer relief by the fund balance, right? So there's two ways of looking at this question. And I asked Gordon, I said, how do you address that? What's the best way? And his suggestion was that we add a word in, which we added. When you voted tonight, the word was in there. And now I have to go back because it wasn't in the slide that Kate presented. And I'm worried that when the budget committee voted on it, they didn't vote on the most recent version, right? So here's the word. It's additional,
Additional,
right?
okay.
And so what it says at the end is, said funds to come from the June 30th unassigned fund balance available for transfer on July 1 of this year with no additional amount to be raised from taxation. Version they voted for. They voted not to recommend this one 4 to 5, but I think your action earlier was sort of like the final version of it, so they'll have to re-vote on this because it's been changed.
Thank you for asking.
Those are the items that we needed to, I don't know what's going on.
Okay.
I guess the door was locked
Yeah.
out there, but John came to the rescue.
There you go.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Are we done?
Was there any other business?
I implied from your end of it that it was done, but I want to make sure.
Yep. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained. Good job.
Excellent.
Yay.
Go team.
Good night.